Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, Chapter 66. When we last left our heroes, Boruto had sort of collapsed, made use of his karma. We see that Momoshiki has sort of stopped time for Boruto, and then takes control of his body, decides to attack Code to get Code's 10 tails and do the whole Otsutsuki chakra fruit cultivation thing. But then, as that battle goes on, Code is very much outmatched, and so he takes Kawaki as a hostage, as Momo needs Kawaki alive to feed to the chakra fruit. And then Naruto and Shikamaru show up. Shikamaru was quickly sort of held hostage by Code. Momo and Code enter into a temporary alliance, just go ahead and take Naruto off the board, he's too powerful a piece. And so Momoshiki goes for his, ultimate giant Rasengan on Naruto, but it is absorbed by a rekarmified Kawaki, who we learn did accept Amado's kind of devil's bargain a while back to get a karma that is purely a weapon, which again, I'm kind of skeptical about, given all the various suspicious shit around our buddy Amado. So with that said, let's jump right on into Chapter 66, Do or Die. And I love this color cover. I don't know if it's the background behind Kawaki, or just his color scheme here, or the pose, or something. It's just fucking cool looking. And so we open with a bit of a flashback to Amado. Or more of Kawaki thinking about what Amado has told him. You want to protect Lord Hokage, right? You need more power to deal with Code. Enough to take him down. So take it for yourself. Brand new power. In the form of a karma that's purely a weapon. You have the base criteria. And I can make it happen. It's all up to you, Kawaki. The choice is in your hands. And we cut to the present, and we see Kawaki has, as we saw last month, taken that choice. He has that karma, and we see his eye looks very similar to Isshiki's, the sort of shrinking eye that Isshiki had. And Naruto's shocked to see this. Code as well. What the heck? How does he have karma again? And then Ada tells him, I guess Kawaki didn't have a choice. Looks like Amado never intended to let Kawaki decide whether he wanted karma back or not. He's already finished reconstructing it. Okay. So that's implying that Kawaki didn't decide this. That maybe on some level this was an automatic response? I don't know. And Code presses, what? But when? And Shikamaru watches Code have this conversation. I think perhaps working out, because he was wondering last time, why does Code know where Kawaki was? How did Code know where Kawaki was? Sorry, it's a late video tonight, so I'm a little out of it. And also, can Shikamaru hear Ada? Because it's not like a walkie-talkie sort of thing. It's, Ada's talking into one of the claw marks. Maybe Shikamaru can't hear this. Anyway, Ada goes on. He knew that Kawaki would hunger for more power. He probably restored karma when he replaced Kawaki's right hand. All that was left was to motivate him to want it. Okay. So all of Amado, if Ada's right, all of Amado's sort of tempting Kawaki was all kind of meaningless. He already had the power. I think perhaps Amado just needed to plant the idea in Kawaki's head that he had the power. But also, if Shikamaru was hearing all this, this could be bad for Amado. Anyway, Code responds, which means he used us to be the final push to awaken Kawaki's power. Shikamaru is still listening. It's not quite clear if he can actually hear Ada, but he does think he's talking with someone. He has an ally somewhere. And Kawaki looks down at his new karma arm and just sort of reckons with his newfound power. Shocking Naruto, of course. Kawaki! Momoshiki turns to him. What a surprise. It's not usually possible for a karma that is lost to manifest again. Is this that geezer Amado's doing? What is he scheming? And Kawaki just doesn't even respond. You fool. Go on. Just keep letting yourself be used by others, until you get fed to 10 tails. And Kawaki then turns to stare Momoshiki in the face, and he activates that Sukuna Hikana power, and summons Isshiki's poles at Momoshiki. Momoshiki has to dodge, but he dodges pretty easily, but it is a bit of an effort there. And Naruto recognizes that jutsu. And Code also recognizes this. Oh, now that's interesting. Because Kawaki's extensions are... Oh, no, because right, the Sukuna Hikana... I was about to say that the extensions maybe aren't organic, but it's either... Sukuna Hikana works on either inorganic material or the user, and I guess these do function as the user, because he's able to shoot out those kinds of claws and throw them at, or have them manifest, have them grow in size, and throw them at Momoshiki. And, does massive damage to the landscape. Momoshiki still just gets out of the way. And then Kawaki spawns the cubes above Momoshiki. They fall onto Momoshiki, and Naruto is sort of pushed back by the dust, by the force of these cubes, and thinks, this power, it's just like... and then from the cubes, we see the sort of gunk noise from the cubes. I'm assuming Momoshiki is about to burst out of there. And Kawaki just sits there amidst the dust. And Code sort of thinks Daikokuten, which lets the user retrieve things from another dimension, and even Sukuna Hikana, which shrinks various objects. Alright, it's a different power that summoned the cubes and shit. Is Amado trying to make Kawaki into a second Isshiki? Okay. Some interesting word choices there. Is Amado trying to make Kawaki into a second Isshiki? So there is all of that mystery around Amado. There is still so much mystery around Amado. And I'm not quite sure what Amado would gain from killing Isshiki and then creating a new Isshiki. I'm not sure what exactly his goal is. Anyway, Kawaki responds, I see. I'm starting to understand. And Naruto just yells at him, Kawaki! And Kawaki looks back. What's going on? Those abilities. No, more importantly. And Kawaki turns to Naruto. Shouldn't you be focusing on staying still, Lord Seventh? Not that I care what happens to him. Referring to Shikamaru, who is still in Code's grip, and who's been threatened to be murdered if Naruto moves. But there's something about the way Kawaki is treating Naruto here that seems very much not like the Kawaki we know. Kawaki sees Naruto as almost a demigod. The best person in the world. And that's not really how he's treating him here. And I'm wondering if that's some of Isshiki peeping through. Suffice to say, I'm very skeptical about Amado's comment that Isshiki's soul is dead and gone. Anyway, Naruto just presses, Kawaki, how far are you planning to go? Or maybe not, because Kawaki then responds to that, I'll do what needs to be done. For you. Which again, it's different in the particulars of the problems Kawaki's had in the past. In the past Kawaki was all, I'll die for Naruto. Even if Naruto doesn't want me to die, I'll do it. Now, with Isshiki's powers, Kawaki seems to be saying, I'll kill for him. Even if, Naruto still does not want that to happen, given that that's kind of his son Kawaki is referring to. And Naruto is not exactly comfortable with what Kawaki's saying. And Code watches as Momoshiki pops out of the dust to go straight at Kawaki with a Rasengan. But Kawaki just nonchalantly absorbs it. And then throws out like a fireball jutsu or something. Maybe takes the Rasengan's chakra and changes it into a fireball or something. I'm not sure. But either way, Momoshiki very quickly absorbs that. But then Kawaki appears behind him. No. Momo is prepping for a kick there, and then he kicks Kawaki away. Kawaki reappears with a claw arm ready. That he sort of extends out towards Momo. Momo ducks beneath it, and then kicks out from under Kawaki, and then jumps above him, throws some shuriken at him, and Kawaki, I think, dodges them, or they just don't hit. And then he uses Daikokuten to summon some more of those claws, now surrounding Momo. And Momo moves out of the way. All the claws sort of hit each other. And Kawaki just watches as it looks like Kawaki's just forming more of those claws. And Momo just keeps on dodging them, now flying towards Kawaki, Rasengan charged. Kawaki readies his claw attack, and the two go right at each other, ready to hit. And then we see, the ground start to crack from their impact. And the explosion blasts back Naruto and Shikamaru and Code. And the two of them, I love this panel here. The two of them in conflict amidst the rubble. They both kind of go on the attack. Kawaki readies his claws, but Momo defends. They just seem kind of evenly matched here. There's not really any change in the fight. Momo's knocked over. Kawaki goes for the attack, but Momo gets out of the way. Kawaki uses that Daikokuten to summon some more of the... I think those are the pillars that Isshiki used on Koji way back when. That Momo just dodges. But now Boruto is starting to wake up. We see Boruto's non-Byakugan eye blink open. Momo acknowledges that, kind of panics he's about to lose control now. And then Kawaki throws some of those rods into Boruto. Momo, maybe Boruto? Boruto's eye is still open. But I'm guessing the shock of Boruto's awakening is what left Momo open to be hit by these rods. Damn it! And Kawaki just tells him, game over. And one of the cubes appears above him. But killing Boruto is not what Naruto wants. And we're seeing kind of over and over again throughout this arc that Kawaki has his idea. He wants to keep Naruto safe, but he's very uninterested. He hasn't really considered what Naruto himself wants. And I'm curious if we do have to go to the fucking flash forward at some point. I'm curious if that's going to be the kind of thing that leads us there. Right? How do I put this? That sort of knowing what's best for Naruto, or assuming he knows what's best for Naruto, is what causes Kawaki to kind of fall, if that makes sense. Anyway, the block appears above Boruto as he's awakening, and Naruto dives to save him, shocking Kawaki. And Ko just knows, the Hokage moved. But forget it, there's no point in killing you now. Let's wait and see. That's kind of odd. I feel like Code would just kill him anyway. Code doesn't have any reason to let Shikamaru live beyond Shikamaru just like Kishimoto not wanting to kill off Shikamaru, which, fair. I don't want Shikamaru to die either. But anyway, Naruto has rescued Boruto, and Kawaki watches. I'm wondering if he's kind of starting to consider how he went wrong there. And Naruto just snaps at Kawaki. That's enough, Kawaki. Are you really planning to kill him? I told you. I'm doing what needs to be done. It's do or die now. Sorry. Naruto just snaps at him. Don't be ridiculous. He's my son. Yes, but at the same time, He's a demon who is targeting your life. And Boruto, who's clearly awake now, sort of hears that. And yeah, we're kind of seeing, I'm not quite sure how much I like this, unless the karma is like influencing Kawaki's mind somehow. Because I don't really see Kawaki killing Boruto here. I don't see that being the decision the Kawaki we've seen the past 40 chapters would make. That doesn't really feel right to me. That feels kind of weird, unless he's being controlled by some remnant of Isshiki's soul. Anyway, Naruto snaps at Kawaki. Have you lost your mind? You're the one who's being a demon. That doesn't matter. The real issue here is that you aren't able to do it yourself. So I'll do it. Move aside, Lord Seventh. And Naruto snaps, you've got to be joking! Cool your head, Kawaki! And Kawaki responds, you're the one who needs to face reality. There is no other way. And there's that line about reality there. It calls to mind Isshiki's iconic taunt that Kawaki echoed when he killed Isshiki, when Isshiki thought he had finally won. The whole that's reality bit. I'm curious if that's meant to be a sign that maybe there is a bit of Isshiki in him now, who's sort of manipulating him like this. You know, preying on Kawaki's actual desires, sure. Taking him to an extreme that Kawaki, were he not in possession of this karma, would not go. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, Boruto pushes Naruto out of the way. And he just sort of, Naruto looks and sees that Boruto is now pretty much fully conscious. And stares back up at Kawaki. Kawaki sees him. Boruto. And we see Momo's thoughts. Gah! He's woken up already. And then I think this is Boruto, who sort of stands up. Naruto calls, Boruto, are you back with us? And Boruto faces forward. And Momo is still like trying to regain control of the body. Damn brat. You should stay asleep for your own good. And Boruto, gaining control of Momo's side of the body, like slaps Momo's eyes shut and tells him, you stay asleep. Quit interfering. And Kawaki sort of watches this new change in Boruto as Boruto tells him, or tells the whole crowd, I guess. Amado's meds do seem to work. I've been able to control Momoshiki's power to an extent, but it's only temporary. It's far from a solution. I mean, look at what just happened. Talk about some awful side effects. I came this close to killing my own dad. And Naruto and Kawaki both sort of acknowledge this. And Kawaki, interestingly enough, I had neglected to bring up the past couple pages, but I probably should have. The focus on, normally there's like one of Boruto's eyes that's in focus. Like looking back at page 30, when Boruto just like pushed Naruto away and Naruto looks back at him, it's very clearly his non-Byakugan eye that's in focus. As he sits up, we have this bit of Momo where we can only see the Byakugan eye, and then we see his left side, his non-Byakugan side of his face, in the next couple panels, finally focusing on that blue eye. When Momo talks, the camera, so to speak, is focused on Momo's side of the face, and then when Boruto covers that eye, we get the close-up on his other eye. Very much the side that's in focus is the side that's in control during that panel, is my point, right? Very long-winded way to get to that point. And so I want to take that to Kawaki on this panel on 33. The Boruto, do you remember what I said to you once? That's the side of his face that doesn't have the karma, which could perhaps be setting up the fact that there is some remnant of Isshiki inside Kawaki. And this is the real Kawaki speaking, not with that sort of imprint of Isshiki. And I'm kind of flipping through some of these Kawaki panels, and it's not quite perfect. This applying the same metric we saw with Boruto to Kawaki here, but especially later on, once the fighting kind of slows down, when Naruto and Kawaki are having their back and forth, we're really only seeing the left side of Kawaki's face, the side with Isshiki's eye and the karma markings. So maybe it is, again, kind of showing there are two consciousnesses inside of Kawaki. Anyway, Boruto, do you remember what I said to you once? And Boruto flashes back to way back, I think between the Delta and Jigen fights. I'll somehow get rid of your karma. I swear it. And Boruto thinks, oh yeah. Or responds, oh yeah, I remember. And I've come to realize today that we're going to have to go through with our last resort plan. Oh. Okay. So Boruto's on board with his own death. Okay. And the fact, I don't think we've quite seen Boruto and Kawaki talk about, Boruto might have to die. I don't think we've seen them have that conversation. We might have, I've just forgotten about it. But I don't think we have. And so that kind of changes the dynamic of the earlier scene. Knowing that's what Boruto wanted, that Kawaki is not just acting on his own interests, he's acting on what Boruto told him to do, does change the sort of dynamics of that earlier scene in a good way. Anyway, we're going to have to go through with our last resort plan. And Kawaki looks at him. Yeah, unfortunately. Naruto's just shocked. Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? And Boruto goes through with some hand sign. I'm sorry, Dad. Give my best to Mom and Hina. Okay, how are they going to get stopped? Because we know Boruto is not going to die here. But Naruto snaps, wait! What are you planning to do? He runs up to Naruto. Don't do anything rash! And Boruto puts his hand on Naruto's chest, shocking Naruto. Wind style. Gale palm. And he takes Naruto by surprise, allowing Naruto to get flowed backwards in just shock. And Boruto looks back at his father like one final time. And Kawaki asks him, I take it you're ready, Boruto? And Naruto lands. Boruto looks at Kawaki. Naruto, I think, is running back towards Boruto. And Boruto says, you're the only one I can ask this of. So while my mind is still holding Momoshiki at bay, do it, bro. And Kawaki just stares at him and readies the attack. And, oh, damn. He fucking skewers Boruto. Yeah, like the claws all go through Boruto. He's dead. Yeah. Naruto is stunned, obviously. Kawaki's just accepting that Shikamaru and Code are both stunned there. Though I imagine Code is definitely the happier one there, given that he doesn't really need two Otsutsukis alive to become an Otsutsuki himself. Ada also watched... Oh, that's actually kind of bad for Ada's plans, though. Because then one of the two Otsutsuki boys have to die, and her whole, get with an Otsutsuki plan is going to fall through. But Boruto just sort of takes it. I don't know. I can't help thinking something's going to happen here. Boruto isn't going to die because he's the main character. Boruto's sort of sent flying. He hits the ground. Kawaki looks at him. And yeah, Boruto lies there. Giant hole in his chest. Naruto calls, Boruto! To be continued. So yeah. Yeah, that happened. Okay. Damn. So, I think it goes without saying that Boruto is not going to die here. Even without the flash forward that I still very much like to pretend never happened, he is the main character of this manga. The show is still Boruto. That's the first word in the title. He's not dying here. As much as I'm not inherently opposed to Himawari becoming a protagonist at some point, and like taking over the role of the Naruto Next Generation's title, Boruto is not dying here. That's just not what's going to happen at all. But shit's looking rough for him. He's been run through. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next. Honestly, I'm trying to like move my mind away from this scene back to the earlier parts of the chapter. But I really can't. I will continue to comment about more reasons why Boruto is not dead, and that Momoshiki is too big a villain to, like, not even really be conscious when he dies. So, like, this is not the end of Boruto, this is not the end of Momoshiki, but it definitely is a turning point in everyone's relationships. Because even if Boruto is somehow revived, which he will be somehow, but, you know, even if it turns out to, like, even once it's revealed that Boruto is still alive somehow, how does Naruto treat Kawaki? How does Naruto treat Boruto? You know? Boruto's willing to kill himself. Kawaki's willingness to kill, you know, Naruto's other son. Like, there's no real, even when Boruto comes back, there's no real walking this back. There's no real erasing what's happened here. What's happened here cannot be undone. Shit's fucked forever. The Uzumaki family, I'm not sure will ever really be happy again. At least not in its former form. I don't know. And like, again, I am very happy. You know, I was worried earlier, I said, Kawaki's very sudden, you know, I'm gonna kill Boruto. I could almost just, you know, I can almost abide it being non-consensual as a kind of, as an even further perversion of Kawaki's love for Naruto. But like, it was still kind of fucked up, and it still is fucked up, to clarify. But like, it's a little bit less fucked up knowing that Boruto was in on it. Knowing that Boruto was like, yeah, I have to die. If Momo comes out, if the meds aren't going to work full time, that's it. I have to go. So that definitely doesn't quite justify Kawaki's behavior, but it does make me okay with it. Make it feel like it's not a betrayal of the Kawaki we've come to know, which has always been my worry. Post Kawaki arc is that, like, in order for Kishimoto to, like, drag the story back to the flash forward, he's going to have to butcher all of Kawaki's character development. And he hasn't quite acquitted himself yet. He still could end up making that choice. But this is not the moment that he's done that. But yeah, shit's wild here. Boruto has been run through. I'm sure that's going to get memes about it all the time. Mainly from Boruto haters, I'll admit. But still, there's just a lot of good shit here. And God, I need the next chapter. I need to know how this is all going to get resolved. You know, it is kind of like when Naruto and Sasuke both kind of died within a single chapter, in like the mid 600s. And like, we all knew they weren't going to die, but like Sasuke had a sword in his heart, and Naruto had lost the Nine Tails, and it was like, oh, how are they going to make it out of this? But we still, like, know they're going to make it out of this, is sort of the vibe of this. Like, how is Boruto going to live? The question is not, will Boruto live? The question is, how will Boruto survive this? Which isn't bad by any stretch of the definition, but it is kind of what's going on here. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes it happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!